world's dumbest callers can be heard coast to coast in 30 seconds. And life gets just a little bit better in only 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised.
Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew.
I'm not modeling anymore for the two of you.
Loveline.
And it is Loveline. I'm Dr. Drew. The phone number is 1-800-LOVE-191. And as we start yet another chaotic version of the Loveline show, I was just sitting here trying to send some email, hoping my partner would come in here when somebody rushed in the door and said, Adam is sick, he's vomiting. Anderson, did you talk to him? Anderson?
No, I didn't. Danielle did.
Danielle, what's happening over there?
He just said he's heaving and he's feeling really sick. He's really sorry and he hopes you have fun tonight.
I'm speechless. That's nice the way he plans. He calls just as we're going on there. It's very nice. Anyway, I'm delighted to have my guest, Stacey Valentine. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Normally it's not like this. It's usually a little chaotic, but not all this quite as bad as tonight.
Well, I didn't mean to intimidate Adam.
No, yeah, maybe that's it. He got overwhelmed and he just had to go home. Had to go home and vomit. But listen, you're promoting a movie, right?
Yes.
Girl Next Door?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
It follows my life over a 2-year period, going from housewife to porn star.
And that's what you're doing now with your life?
Yes. Well, actually, now I have retired from the adult industry, and I've started a clothing line.
Really?
Yes.
Now, how did you get involved in all this? It says here your husband put you up to this, or?
He suggested it, thought that having a threesome would enhance our sex life, and then he started in with the movies and
Are you still married
magazines.
to him?
No.
Interesting.
No, left him back in Oklahoma.
And so his plan, his master plan was, guys, listen carefully to this. Your master plan of enhancing one's sex life by bringing other people in only dissolves intimacy. It
Absolutely, absolutely.
And yet you kept going.
I kept going and left him behind.
But
Yes.
has this been a good thing for you, a bad thing?
Very good thing. It's taught me a lot. I've learned a lot of lessons.
Such as?
Actually, coming to LA has taught me a lot of things. I gained a lot of, I would say, common sense. About 10 years worth of common sense in about 2 years.
So you've been out here 2 years.
I've been out here 4.
4
But
years.
in that 2 years, I gained a lot of common sense.
And such as, give me an example of something you learned.
Being an aggressive driver, not letting people take advantage of me. Being from Oklahoma, I was a little naive.
Mm-hmm.
And now being in LA, it's the real world.
This is from a business standpoint. You mean they're taking advantage of you, or?
Business and personal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so you got out of the porn industry, and yet you're still doing this movie about your life.
Yes, I retired from the industry in February.
Is this a movie for general release, or?
Yes, it's being released in theaters. It opens in Los Angeles May 12th, and it also opens on May 12th in San Francisco.
So it's having sort of local release to begin with, and then it's going to go on wider release, or?
Oh, we started off in New York.
How's the reception been so far?
Excellent. It's been held over 4 weeks now.
Whose idea was this movie?
The director, Christine Fugate.
Tell me about her.
She's a great friend. I have a lot of respect for her. She was interested in pursuing how the adult industry affects a woman's life.
And what's there's going to be a theme to this, and tell me what it does to a woman's life.
I can tell you what it did to my life.
Go ahead.
It changed my life a lot. I learned a lot about myself by doing this documentary. It was very therapeutic. It was like writing in a journal and then going back and looking at it. But seeing it on screen is a lot more. It had a lot more of an effect on me.
Are you actually in any kind of therapy right now? As you mentioned therapeutic effects. Is that?
No, I'm not. I'm not in therapy.
Okay.
No.
Well, what we do here is we go to phones, we take calls from young people, and we are just going to go right down the line. This is Jen, 15. Jen?
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm okay.
It's Drew. Adam's not here. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. And what's going on?
Well, I've been involved with my brother for the past about 6 months, and recently I found out I was pregnant. We've been having sex.
This is your biological brother?
Yeah.
You're shocking the porn star from Oklahoma.
Wow.
How did this all get started?
Excuse me?
How did this get started?
Well, about 6 months ago, I don't know, I just found myself attracted to him, and he the same, I guess.
No. Oh, Jen, please. Either this is not a true story or there's a lot more here than you're telling me.
Well, what do you mean?
You tell me. People do not get suddenly attracted to their brother. Doesn't happen.
I don't know. I don't know.
Unless there's a hell of a lot more going on in your family than just all kinds
My
of...
family is pretty screwed up.
What's happening?
My dad left us. He used to molest me.
Okay.
And I was also molested.
Okay. All right. That makes... See, siblings are not attracted to other siblings in a sexual way unless some adult has come in and absolutely destroyed their boundaries. And sexual abuse by an adult is one way that can happen. And that's exactly what happens. And then your story makes sense. Then you can make decisions like, hey, my brother looks pretty cool. I think I'll have sex with him. And it makes sense to you. And, of course, most males are willing participants in any kind of weird activity. So and now you're pregnant.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm really religious, and I'm against abortions.
Does sex with one's brother, is that included under one's religious sort of umbrella?
I know. I don't believe in abortions at all.
Well, are you concerned? I mean, having that close a genetic link can put you at risk for various kinds of birth problems.
Yes, I know.
Okay. Who are you going to tell about this?
I have no idea. I'm afraid to tell my parents. I'm afraid to tell anybody.
What about... you have anything to tell her?
I haven't even told him yet.
I think she needs to get an abortion.
What do you think?
It's the baby. Could be something wrong with it. It's not right.
Jen?
Yes?
What do you think about that?
I don't know. I have no idea what to do.
Come on.
I have no idea.
I know it would be a really hard decision, but...
At least talk to somebody who can give you some counseling. Because, look, you're not going to be able to do... Either you're going to have this child and everybody's going to find out about it anyway, right. Or you're going to... I really don't want you to get in a situation where you're going to do something really screwy, run away, that kind of thing.
So you're saying I should have an abortion?
No, I'm not saying... No. I actually am not. I'm saying you need to sit down and talk to somebody about what your options are and get some support and get somebody who can really help you through this, whether it's Planned Parenthood or some counselor through your school, some adult you've got to talk to. And I understand you wouldn't want to talk to your parents since they've been the perpetrators of this awful abuse for God knows since when. And only got, by sending her back to her parents, we actually be putting her at risk for more abuse because
Absolutely.
Parents that can do that can physically abuse as well. But Jen, my God, please, you need guidance, you need help. You're 15, you're pregnant by your brother. This is not, you can't handle this by yourself. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Is there some place you can go for help?
Not that I know of.
How about Planned Parenthood?
I could try that, yeah.
All right. 1-800, I think it's 230-PLAN. Do you see phone numbers just on the other side of, right attached to the...
I see nothing.
Look, right here, there's some numbers, believe it or not. You see Planned Parenthood over there? 1-800-230-PLAN. That's Planned Parenthood. You can refer to somebody. All right, Jen?
All right, thank you.
Will you call us back? Let us know how you're doing, okay?
All right.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Welcome to America. Stephanie, 17. Stephanie.
Yeah.
What's going on?
All right.
All right, what's up? Stephanie? Stephanie?
Yes.
What's going on?
I am pregnant, right? And I told my boyfriend about it. And ever since that I told him, I just told him last week. And ever since then, he's, been avoiding me and trying to, like every time I call or whatever, he'll be like, well, I gotta go this and this.
And he's 17 also?
He's 18.
He's 18.
Yeah.
So he's a little flipped out about all this, right?
Yeah. And I went by his house just yesterday, and he acted like he wasn't at home, but I saw him.
And what was he doing?
Huh? Oh, I just saw him walk through the house, run through the house. It was funny. But,
So you're sort of stalking him?
No, I don't know what to do about it. I want to talk to him about it, but he won't talk to me about it.
He's afraid.
And
Stephanie?
what?
I'm not really sure what your question is.
What do I do?
Well,
do I?
you need to deal with this pregnancy, right?
No, I need to talk to him.
Why?
Try to get him to talk to me about it.
It's like talking to, what was that movie that Jodie Foster was in? With the, no, where she was a wild child.
No.
Nell, it's like talking to Nell here. Stephanie, why do you want to talk to him? Do you think he's going to rescue you from all this, or suddenly swoop in and be the committed, available guy that he never will be?
No, see, I don't have any problem with it. If he don't want to, be a part of its life, then screw him and he can go.
All right, so why do you want to make contact with him? You've got to make some choices about what you're going to do here. You've got to start planning for you and this child if that's what if you're going to see this pregnancy through.
Yeah.
And by the way, what about adoption? His father's not available. You're 17. You don't want to ruin your life with this, and ruin the child's life too. How about adoption?
Well, it was my mistake.
Yeah, that's right. Well, don't screw it up even worse by messing up this child's life. You're not ready to be a parent, and certainly your boyfriend, your screw-up boyfriend's not ready to be one.
I know. I don't know. I don't really know.
I know you don't really know, but that's not the way to go into parenthood. Okay, you got to really, really, really know a lot of things when you embark on that whole experience.
Yeah.
All right. This guy sounds like a jerk. Yeah, sure. Go confront him. Go find out what he's up to. But it's going to be very ungratifying. He's running away. He's scared. He's whatever. But he's a jerk.
Yeah.
And he's unlikely to come back in and support you the way you need support. You've got to find that elsewhere. Can you tell your parents about this?
Yeah.
All right.
They don't care.
Oh, they don't care. Of course they don't care. That's why you're pregnant at 17. How was your upbringing?
My upbringing was great, although my parents divorced at 12.
When you were 12.
Yeah.
What was it like before they left?
Actually, my mother and father didn't really have the greatest relationship. There wasn't a lot of communication.
Was there any abuse between them, or violence, or
no abuse?
anybody
the
drinking
only
or
kind
using drugs, or
no,
nothing like that?
No, middle class Oklahoma family, nothing major. So
I interrupted. You said the only kind of, you were about to say, I was asking about aggression between them.
No, just I would say mental abuse by not communicating.
So a real cold relationship. So you really
Absolutely. My dad was very distant and my mom was very loving. So she just transferred her love to me. So which I feel that I benefited because my mother and I have a very close relationship.
And so I imagine you picked a guy like your dad. That's probably the husband that was
Correct.
interested in the threesomes and all that stuff.
That was not very nice, yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
I followed the pattern.
This is David, 25. David?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? David?
Hey.
Is there something wrong with my connection here, Anderson? Nobody can hear me.
I'd like to commend you guys on your show.
Well, thanks very much. Adam's not here. He's at home vomiting. And I'm pissed at him, by the way.
You guys do a very good job.
Thank you, David. What's going on, David?
My question is, me and my wife, we've been married for over a year now. Actually, we've been together for about 5. And we share a lot of, intimate moments, whatever. And she wants me to tell her my secret desires and stuff like that.
Mm.
But I don't have...
That sounds like a trap to me. She's looking for something to get pissed at you about.
Well, she's told me hers, and I've kind of blowed it off and told her, like, my intimate desire would be for us to have a threesome.
You told her that?
Yeah.
Oh, here's somebody's had experience with this.
But that's not...
Hold on. Yeah, we got an expert here. Go ahead.
I have an opinion about that. Now, that's your fantasy, is that correct?
Well, no, that's not. That's what I told her, just to get her to drop the subject.
Don't you have a fantasy?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell her? What is it? Tell me.
It's for her to perform anal sex to me.
On you?
Yeah.
How would she go about that? I'm not very imaginative.
Well, I guess a strap on.
Okay.
But I don't know how to go about telling her.
How's the rest of the relationship going? Everything going okay?
'Cause I don't want her to think I'm a freak or anything.
How's the rest of the relationship going?
We argue a lot, but it's not for very long.
How long have you been married? You're married?
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
For over a year now.
Are there children?
Yeah, just born. March.
Just born. A month?
They're 2 months old.
You have twins?
Yes.
Oh my God, David! Don't you have other things to worry about than your wife putting on a strap on? Please. Yeah, it's fine that you have. There's nothing wrong with you, David, but your focus is a little off right now. I mean, your wife just delivered twins 2 months ago. You're lucky that she's interested in being intimate with you physically. She should.
Well, no, this has been for pretty much like 3 years now. We've been together for 6.
3 years now that you've been wanting to tell her this?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, now's not the time. She just had twins 2 months ago. Your focus is on these babies. Listen, I'm a multiple parent, and I tell you, those first 6 months turn my hair gray. Focus on the child rearing. My God.
I mean,
why do you have even the energy to call our show? Why aren't you holding a bottle right now?
We do. I mean, we take care of the children, but we do have times that we spend with each other.
That's good. That's good. But just focus on her right now. She needs all the support you can possibly give her. Don't be tied up worrying about this one little intimacy, this one little sort of fantasy that you have that's got to be, and you've got to reveal it to her. Wait till you get that through that first 6 months,
Well, I mean,
if you will, hump.
She keeps nagging me about it. Well,
Now?
She wants to know. Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh, your wife's made of steel. She's a superhuman.
She wants to know what it is.
Well, then tell her. She's asking for it. Listen, I don't know. I feel like I've sort of landed on another planet tonight. Anybody else feel that way?
That was
No?
one of the 3 dumbest callers we've had in a long
Thank
time.
you. It's not just me. All right, but David, go ahead. Stacey, you agree? Tell her the. Tell the fantasy
if she keeps persisting,
She wants to know something.
and
right?
if he told her that he wants to have a threesome,
That's a more significant.
But didn't he answer her question? Why is she still asking?
Great question, David.
Huh?
Why should she continue to bug you if you told her that you wanted a threesome?
Because she don't. I guess deep inside she doesn't really buy that.
Okay. How does she react to that, by the way?
What, wanting a threesome?
Yeah.
She says she'd do it only because she's really loves me.
Wants to make you happy. All right. Well, if she's willing to do that, she's willing to do the other stuff too, David.
Yeah.
Just take it easy here. And please, just kind of focus on the kids, will you please? My God. But I guess this relationship will hold. She's willing to withstand just about anything from him. Tom, 19. Tom.
Hello.
Hey.
I had a question.
Say hi to my guest, Stacey Valentine.
I'm sorry?
Say hi to my guest, Stacey Valentine.
Hello, Stacey.
Movie is The Girl Next Door. Is the movie The Girl Next Door : synopsis, or is it The Girl
No, I
Next
think
Door?
you got a synopsis.
I got the synopsis. All right, there you go.
All right.
What's going on?
I just had a question. If females can get circumcised?
Kind of. Why?
Because a couple of my friends and I are we're discussing certain things, and it came up, and we were arguing about whether or not what part actually gets circumcised of the female genitalia.
Turn your radio down.
It's not on. My friends are talking to me.
All right. Well, Stacey, why don't you help?
Hey, how'd you guys get on that subject?
That's what I want to know.
We were just talking.
Oh, geez, you guys are. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well.
Messed up friends.
Yes, you do. Oh, yeah.
The argument was whether or not it's the clitoris or the lift.
Well, most people, when they're talking about a female circumcision, they're talking about the hood.
Okay.
There's a bit of extra skin up there that some women do or don't have more of. And the problem is that there's really no reason for that to be done, so it's all done as part of these bizarre rituals in certain countries. And the actual ritual itself is different in different regions, and they run the gamut of actually removing the clitoris and sewing up the vagina, believe it or not.
Yeah, I've read that online.
To just going ahead and taking a piece of the hood off, and it's rather gruesome.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just again more symptoms of how men need to control and have through history abused women. Men are very fearful of female sexuality.
Yep.
And this is one of the ways that's been expressed.
All right.
All right, Tom.
Thank
Hope
you
you won your argument.
Ouch.
Yeah, by the way. This is Jason, 18. Jason?
Yeah.
Hey.
It's like every time I become friends with like a girl or anything, just like regular mutual friends, I always start to care for them, become kind of like obsessed.
Yeah.
I really start to care for them.
Okay.
And it ruins a lot of friendships just because I get to caring for them and I end up either asking them out or something, and it ruins the friendships like that. And I was wondering what that might be caused by, or how I can fix that, or what.
I would approach them in a different manner. I wouldn't start out just being friends, because women feel comfortable whenever they know that they have a friend, and then whenever he starts to groove on her, then that's such a turn off, and then she doesn't even want to be your friend.
Could that have any, like when I was like 4 years old, my father left me and said that he didn't love me anymore. Just kind of walked out.
Like,
And
this. You remember a scene where he said, "I don't love you," and then
yeah,
left?
I remember it pretty vividly too. He just kind of walked out and left, and like pretty much my whole teenage years, I like kind of raised myself. My mom was really never around.
Awful. Of course. Of course. I mean, you were looking for. Oh, geez, did you see The Incredible Mr. Ripley? That's kind of what he did. I mean, it's a different situation because he's a psychopath, but he would suddenly form these attachments, and then he'd idealize and get so enmeshed and overwhelmed with the attachment, and that's what people do when they've been badly abandoned and or abused in childhood. Is they are so desperate for the attachment that they over-idealize and over-invest.
It's kind of what it's like. It's kind of like that. It's really hard to be by myself. Like all my friends are guys because of it.
What about getting some therapy? You've had some severe losses in childhood.
I've never had any therapy or anything.
Well, why not? I mean, it would take a long time to work this through, but it would work out fine in the long run.
Well,
it's going to be very difficult for you. You're going to be so extraordinarily codependent. You're gonna be just.
Yeah, it kind of seems like that now.
Yeah, it is like that now. But wait till you really have somebody that responds. The kind of person that's going to respond to you is going to be somebody that really can take advantage of your vulnerability, because that's the only person that would really need that from a relationship.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic. I just had a girl that I just broke up with, and it was kind of like that.
Was she an addict or anything?
Not that I know. I mean, she never.
Was your dad an alcoholic or an addict?
Not that I know of. I've never even seen him drink. But
I would suspect that's what you're dealing with.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, and I suspect that's what you're going to end up with if you're not careful. All right?
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, Jason, take care. Well, it's Loveline, the number 1-800-LOVE-191. I'm Dr. Drew. The guest is Stacey Valentine. The movie is
The
Girl Next Door. It's released in some major cities coming up. It's been well received in New York. And we're here with the star of that film. It is Stacey Valentine, and this is about her life. And we'll hear more about it after this.
Loveline.
Loveline. We'll be right back.
The biggest name in club music is back with 24 smash hits on 2 unforgettable CDs. It's the Best of Club Mix from K-Tel Coldfront with #1 dance hits by Tag Team, Christine W., Robin, LaBouche, Moby, and more. 2 CDs, 24 non-stop hits. The Best of Club Mix. Pick it up at Best Buy or at KTEL.com.
Visit the Army Reserve Job Bank at GoArmyReserve.com and hear about jobs in medicine, aviation, or telecommunications. The Army Reserve Job Bank has many jobs in your area. Just plug in your zip code and you'll find listings for everything from PCs to MPs. Serve as little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Learn skills that can help in college or a career. Sound good? It is. Visit the Army Reserve Job Bank at GoArmyReserve.com. Paid for by the U.S. Army Reserve.
Hi, I'm Serenity, and these are my friends, Missy and Stephanie.
You know, a lot of things happen to us every day that we have no control over.
But HIV and other sexually transmitted diseases aren't things that just happen to you. You do have a choice.
You can choose to use a condom, have safe sex, and take control of your life.
Asking for a condom isn't stupid. It's smart. It shows that you care about yourself and your partner.
You can do something about sexually transmitted diseases.
Use a condom.
Every partner.
Every time.
We do.
A message brought to you by Wicked Pictures and AIDS Project Los Angeles.
Oh, come on, have a drink.
No thanks.
Just one little drink.
I don't want to.
Chicken, everyone else is.
I said no.
What a nerd. One little drink won't kill you.
You've heard it all before. Be cool. Join the crowd. Have a drink even though you're not 21.
Let's go. She's no fun.
Make the right choice. Don't give in. Underage drinking is dumb and dangerous.
Look out!
A public service message from the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Somewhere in our community is a mother whose drug abuse once left her unable to care for her kids. There's a father, too, whose alcohol use drove his wife and children away. There's a boyfriend whose drug use frightened his girlfriend into giving him an ultimatum: get help or I'm gone. Help is available. It's in the form of treatment programs for drug abuse and alcohol problems, and the good news is that these programs are making a big difference in people's lives. With proper treatment, mothers and fathers, sweethearts and coworkers, friends and neighbors are overcoming drug and alcohol problems and reclaiming their lives. Isn't it great that treatment works? To find out about drug and alcohol treatment programs that can help, call 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-HELP. There is help, and it works. A public service of this station and the Center for Substance Abuse Treatment.
Dad, I don't think our campfire's totally out.
Are you kidding me? I know when a campfire's out. Did you drown the fire with water and stir it with a stick? No, it's out. We don't have to. Who said that?
Frank, it's a talking moose with sunglasses.
And a bunch of singing and dancing forest animals.
We know we can count on you to do what Smokey says.
And when your folks desire to build a fire,
Hot, hot.
clear brush and branches away, and keep water nearby like you oughta.
We're all counting on you.
Okay, I poured water on the fire. I stirred it with a stick. Everybody walked slowly toward the RV.
Dad, these are just Smokey's friends.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Frank, it's Smokey.
Nice hat, Smokey. Want the rest of my peanut butter sandwich?
Dad!
Visit Smokey at www.smokeybear.com. Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, the National Association of State Foresters, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Loveline. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. I just realized since Adam is not here, I can go into one of the chat rooms at drdrew.com, which I think I will do after the next break. I can't really get set up right now yet, but maybe meet me in the college relationship room. That'll be in about 20 minutes. And if you have any questions for Stacey Valentine, you can put them through there, or you can call her phone number again. It's 1-800-LOVE-191. Stacey's in a new movie called The Girl Next Door, which is a chronicle of her life going from housewife, mother?
No, not ready for irreversible commitments.
But thank God you didn't get involved parenting with your a-hole husband. Excuse me, I already know he's an a-hole. Who basically got her into this industry, and she was sort of milled through it for a couple of years. And you were going to tell me what it sort of does to women.
What it's done for me is the trust issues, and especially coming from my ex-husband with wanting the threesome. I just that's the worst thing. I don't suggest any man, and especially not the man, to bring it up to the woman. That doesn't make any sense, because if a woman were to say it to a man, I mean that's a pretty hard blow. You know, that a woman wants to be with another man other than, him.
Why would women consider even subjecting themselves to that? Because we get lots of calls, women trying to, I think, numb themselves up and do things they think they're going to make men happy because they feel so crappy about themselves.
Low self-esteem, absolutely. And that's how I felt.
Why so many women with these awful self-esteems these days?
I don't know. I think that's very sad. I think it's really sad, and it totally backfires. I mean, when he brought that up, I felt that, well, what's wrong with? I guess I'm not enough. And when you start feeling that way, then that blows your self-esteem.
But then, in response to low self-esteem, you allowed him to get you into all this film stuff. Is that where that went, or how did that? I don't make the connection there.
We tried a threesome. He actually brought home his ex-girlfriend, and which is another one. And now that the person I am today and the person I was 5 years ago are two totally different people. I don't really care for that person I used to be.
Were you I mean, it sounds like he badly victimized you. Were you ever victimized younger?
No.
Right, he was just a victimizer, right? He completely took advantage of you.
Manipulating me. But I allowed it to happen. So, I take my responsibility in that. So.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Lisa is 26. Again, Adam is vomiting at home. I have no sympathy for him.
Boy, am I drunk.
Yeah, that's the point. The deal is, Adam, you called it 1 minute to 10. 1 minute to 10. The thing, when sometimes when things don't just fit, my spidey senses up. 1 minute to 10. Lisa.
Yes.
Hi.
This is a question for the doctor.
Yeah, I'm right here.
I'm a type 1 diabetic.
Yeah.
I've had diabetes for about 17 years.
Yeah.
And late last November, I started dialysis.
So you didn't take your insulin during your teenage years, did you?
Well, I wasn't taking very good care of myself.
Yeah, I can tell. I mean, dialysis by 20 start wanting not to be diabetic anymore and just refusing to take their insulin. How many episodes of DKA did you have?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Ketoacidosis?
Oh, not too many. I was only hospitalized a couple of times.
That's a lot for a young person. Anyway, so now we're on dialysis. All right.
Yeah. For the past about a month, a little over a month, I've been getting ill while on dialysis. Within an hour and a half of treatment, I'll get a headache, and then it'll quickly become a migraine.
Wow.
Followed by nausea,
yeah,
and then vomiting.
What have they been doing for that?
They'll either put my feet up in the recliner chair that they could put us in. And
so your pressure drops out on dialysis too, huh? Yeah. Well, then maybe it's just all that. Maybe it's just you're very sensitive.
I'm weak, and my.
Okay, Lisa, that happens to some people on hemodialysis. Their pressures just drop out.
Yeah, and I was wondering, do you know maybe what it could be that's making me ill?
You have no blood pressure.
Maybe it's one of the medicines that they're giving me.
Lisa?
Yes.
You have no blood pressure.
Uh-huh.
That's making you ill.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sure your nephrologist is all over that.
Actually, he's not really communicating with us, so we're looking to another.
Well, then it's time to get another one. To get somebody to understand. But it sounds like if you get sick and they start putting your feet up and lying you flat, that's because you have no blood pressure.
Okay.
And that may be the whole story right there. That for whatever reason, whether you're sensitive to having the hemodialysis, the blood goes out of you into the kidney machine and it comes back in. And some people are very sensitive to that and have rather profound reactions. And it's a serious deal. Let me ask this, Lisa. Lisa.
Yes.
Are you on the books for a kidney?
Yes, I am.
All right. You need to get yourself a kidney. Seriously, that's where you need to go with this.
Yes, we found a donor.
All right, great. Follow through on that, okay? You'll do great once you get the new kidney.
Well, I was wondering if maybe I was taking my treatments too early in the day, because the other day I had to reschedule and I had it in the afternoon.
You're asking me a question. It's sort of like asking why there was a failure of one of the rocket launchers, and I have to go there and look at a lot of stuff to figure out what's exactly going on. But you need to be able to communicate with your doctor. That is true. So get somebody new if you can't communicate with the guy you got. Scotty's 25. Scotty, you have a question for Stacy?
Yes, I did. Drew, loving the chat rooms.
Thank you.
And looks like Adam bailed on you again.
Yeah, actually, I really like doing this by myself, but I wasn't sort of prepared for it. I was doing some stuff and working on the computer, and 1 minute before we went, not even 1 minute, we were going on the air when I heard that he was vomiting, and not here. So.
Okay, my question for Stacy. Stacy?
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I live in Seattle, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get into adult films?
Well, okay, here's my suggestion for all those men who want to get into the movies. Get about 20 or 30 male friends, put them in a room with you, and get naked and start to pleasure yourself. And if you can keep it up, and then finally, if someone in your audience tells you to pop now, and if you can do that on command, I would say you have about a 70% chance at getting into the business.
That means I probably got a 0% chance.
And then you also got to bring a woman with you when you come to offer your services.
Makes it much easier.
Did you say be in a room with a bunch of guys?
Yeah, because when you're on set.
Oh, I see. You got to be
you're
able to
on
do that.
set. You're on.
I see.
You've got a crew of about 15 men, very close to your private parts.
Very interesting. Missy, 23. Missy.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hi.
What's up?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I need to know if anal sex causes permanent damage.
Can. It's not the greatest thing to do for yourself. Why would happen?
Well, it was kind of one of those things he wanted to try, so I tried it, and I heard that you have a muscle back there it can cause damage with.
You can tear and cause fissures and abscesses, all kinds of wonderful things.
And what kind of effects come from that?
Pain. Mostly.
I felt that.
Yeah, and like as long as things are okay right now, you're not having any bleeding or discharge or anything. You're probably made it through. So there you go. This is Jonah.
It's Jonna.
Jonna, 17.
Yeah. My question is, I know it's gonna sound really stupid to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this started, but I wanted to know if there are any effects to if you sniff mothballs.
I don't really know what's in mothballs, to tell you the truth. It can't be good for you.
'Cause I don't know. I just remember that I liked the smell of them a whole lot. I don't know why. I just like.
What other drugs are you doing? What other drugs are you doing?
Nothing at all. Nothing.
You've never done drugs?
No.
Never hurt yourself? Tried to hurt yourself?
You mean like how?
Cutting?
I used to.
Okay. You got to get some help. Are you in treatment right now?
No.
Come on.
Because it's like it doesn't have any.
Hey, forget it. Please. Come on. How did I know you were a cutter right away?
I don't know.
Come on. You got to get some treatment.
The reason I want to know if there's any like actual effects is because the only thing it does is it makes my nose tingle for like a minute and then it goes away. But I just like the smell, and I guess that's how I started. Because I'll just like scrape a little bit of it off and just.
Would you when you tried to hurt yourself? Were you hospitalized?
No, nobody knew about it.
Have you ever been under psychiatric care?
No.
Okay. I don't want you to hurt yourself for real. You're on the way. Okay. Do you have periods of time where you sort of forget where you are or sort of don't know what's happening? Any periods like that?
Well, no. I mean.
When you were cut.
I mean, I've always been like a straight A student, school-oriented person, so it's like.
But do you have any periods of time where you sort of forget what you've done or where you've been, that kind of thing, where you sort of black
like,
out?
Not that I.
When you were cutting on yourself, were you very aware of what was going on around you?
Oh, like times like that, yeah.
Times like that, what? You were sort of out of it?
And I wouldn't know what was going on. Like,
yeah. See, I
had an anxiety attack about 2 weeks ago.
Were you sexually abused when you were a kid? Were you abused when you were a kid? Sexually abused, something like that?
No, never.
I'm just picking up that you sort of had this dissociative quality about you, where you sort of fugue out and then you cut on yourself and that kind of thing. And people that learn how to do that often learn to do that in circumstances of severe trauma in childhood. And I don't say you have to get treatment. This is Joe, 18. Joe?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. What's up?
Hey, finally good to talk to you. We heard you snore for quite a while last night.
Yeah, that was well.
You appreciate that. Adam's not here, so don't blame me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was a pretty funny.
This is Joe. Do you have a type for that at all? Now, this Joe who entertained Andy Dick and Adam and myself for good 45 minutes with your snoring. So.
Would there be any chance I could get a tape of that?
Not from our end, because I can't even get them to play any back to me right now.
Oh, okay.
So what's going on?
Not much. I was wondering about this thing called Salvia divinorum.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me more. What is it?
It's like I don't know. It makes you trip for like half an hour. You smoke it. It's legal too. That's the thing about it. You can like buy it over the internet. And like, I don't know. So I was just wondering. You don't know anything about it?
I would love to know more about it. I'm sure I will be hearing about it because God knows as soon as you guys start using stuff, it shows up in the hospital.
Okay. Well, nobody's like overdosed of it or done anything like that.
You get it. What kind of experience do you get from it?
Like, you're supposed to like close your eyes and you like hallucinate and like you feel your body being pulled different ways and stuff.
Any drug that causes hallucination from its primary effect, in my experience, has always been neurotoxic, brain damaging. Every single one, whether it's LSD, DMX, whatever it is.
What about mushrooms?
Mushrooms, absolutely.
That's poisoning your body. You're getting the tripping effect because your body's fighting off the poison. Is that correct?
Actually, that is an interesting thing that does happen with certain mushrooms and whatnot. But it appears that via mechanisms that are not well understood, it opens up pathways in the brain that are extra physiologic. They weren't supposed to happen in nature, and the body's response to that is for those cells to drop out, to die. So they're overstimulated, and then they go away for good.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Well,
not a great idea. It's the thing that scares me most about you. Go do anything else. Do anything else but use hallucinogens. That's the thing that scares me most about young people is the wholesale abuse of hallucinogens right now because it always has chronic effects. Maybe subtle, maybe almost immeasurable, but oftentimes significant. So watch it, all right?
Okay.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.
Let's see. Oh, boy. These calls, they're getting even me down. Let's hear more about your movie. Was it interesting to make?
Yeah.
I mean, did you write it?
No, it's a documentary.
Help me understand.
She was with me, the filmmaker Christine Fugate was with me for 2 years of my life. She was...
How did she know? I understand. I mean, help me understand this. You mean when your husband said, go get in that industry, somebody showed up at your doorstep saying, I'm going to do a documentary about this?
No, I had already started into the industry.
Yeah.
I had been in the industry a few months.
Mm-hmm.
And my manager, actually Christine, had been searching for someone to do a documentary on for about 2 years. And she had interviewed about 30 different women and just didn't find the right one. She needed someone that was stable, that would stick with it, because she needed to follow someone from...
So most people in the industry are not stable.
Correct. I would say about 85% of the women that enter into the adult industry are out within a year.
And in what kind of condition?
They don't make it, or else they use themselves up. They do a lot of scenes. Some girls do like over 500 scenes in a year. I've only done 69 movies in 4 years.
Right. And so she followed you through these different... and your
through
life.
Different parts of my life, yes.
What did she document? Did she document the breakup with your husband? And
no, that was already done. That was done and over with before I moved out to L.A.
Huh.
I did one movie. I came back home, and I didn't bring a woman home. And he said, "Okay, that's it. You're not doing movies anymore. You've cheated on me. You've failed me." Things like that. And it was
wholesale abuse.
It was his idea to begin with.
He's a major asshole.
Yeah, I say so. I agree. So I left him behind and came out to LA. I realized that this was an opportunity that I could, my self-esteem was low. I didn't feel that I had any other avenues, and this was an avenue where I could get away from him and I could make my own money and I could be independent. And that worked for me. I'm not suggesting that everyone in a bad marriage should try to get out and go, get into adult movies, but it worked for me at that time. And so I was 25 when I got into the business, so I was older. Not, I don't think that they should allow 18-year-olds to get into the business, because you don't know, this will be with me the rest of my life. I was very aware of that when I entered into the business, and it does limit you to some of the things. I can't be president. I guess maybe I could try, but and when you're 18, you don't know it, and you see, easy money, and it's very seducing, and I don't think that's very positive.
Guest is Stacey Valentine. It's 1-800-LOVE-191. It's Loveline. I'm Dr. Drew. Adam is at home barfing, and I guess by now having diarrhea too, judging by what he alleges he had. And maybe we can make contact with him, Anderson. What do you think? Just
let me enjoy my weenie, please.
I'm sure that's what he's doing. So it's Loveline, and we'll be back in just a second.
We'll be right back with more Loveline.
How was school today, Rebecca?
We learned what the Earth was like a long time ago, way back in the 1990s.
Oh.
Grandpa, did you ever taste water?
Oh, my, no. By the time I was a boy, water, if you could find it, was pretty much unfit to drink. But I hear tell, long ago, children used to make lemonade with actual tap water and drink it on hot, sunny days.
Really?
Yeah, and sometimes they'd fill balloons with water and toss them at each other and laugh, or run through the sprinkler singing and carrying on. And then after a day of playing, their folks would put them in a tub, fill it with water and bubbles, and scrub them until they were squeaky clean.
Wow. Why didn't people try to save the water?
Well, I guess they didn't think one person could make a difference.
Thousands of Americans make a difference every day. For example, over 900 million tons of untreated sewage is no longer discharged into our nation's waters. A message from ECHO, the Earth Communications Office.
Okay, class. This part of the museum is known as the Hall of Trees.
What's a tree?
Large plants that once covered much of the Earth. This is a full-scale model of a maple tree.
What are those green things?
Those were called leaves. They took in sunlight, nourished the tree, expelled oxygen, creating air for people to breathe.
People didn't breathe out of air tanks?
No, then air was everywhere. The sky was blue, even the ocean was blue.
The ocean was blue?
And filled with fish.
What's a fish?
When you protect the Earth, you protect your health and that of your children. We're making progress. There has been a significant improvement. 20 years ago, air pollution in Los Angeles exceeded health standards on 4 out of every 5 days. But we still have a long way to go.
Here's the Hall of Weather. Press that button and you'll hear a rainfall.
Why'd they need rain?
Without rain, a flower couldn't grow.
What's a flower?
One person can make a difference. A message from ECHO, the Earth Communications Office.
Personally, I'm so sick of hearing about the environment.
I know. What's everyone so worried about?
51 million Americans live in areas where the air is officially classified as unhealthy to breathe.
It's a big world, and it's been here a long time.
Yeah, we're talking years and years and years.
The Center for Disease Control says that 94,000 people get sick every year from contaminated water. 900 of those people die.
It's all in their heads.
It's media hype.
The average American dumps at least 20 pounds of household toxins down the drain every year, most of which ends up in the drinking water supply.
Personally, I drink tap water. I mean, it's not like we're in Bangladesh.
Personally, I feel fine. I mean, I ask you, seriously, who's really getting hurt here?
5.8 million children died last year as a result of unsafe drinking water.
Not me or my kids, right, Billy? Billy? Where are you?
Can one person make a difference? Today, 66% of our rivers and lakes are safe for fishing and swimming, a third more than in 1970. One person can make a difference. A message from ECHO, the Earth Communications Office.
And now, Vince and Larry, the crash test dummies, with a lullaby.
Crumple, crumple, little car. When you crash, it's au revoir.
If on dumb luck you rely, through the windshield they will fly.
Keep your children off the streets. Put your kids in safety seats.
Crumple, crumple, little car. Don't be dummies like we are. Gee, Vince, I'm kind of sleepy now.
Okay, Larry, just crash anywhere.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your kids' safety belts. A message from the Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Oh, come on, have a drink.
No, thanks.
Just one little drink.
I don't want to.
Chicken, everyone else is.
I said no.
What a nerd. One little drink won't kill you.
You've heard it all before. Be cool. Join the crowd. Have a drink, even though you're not 21.
Let's go. She's no fun.
Make the right choice. Don't give in. Underage drinking is dumb and dangerous.
Look out!
A public service message from the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hey, it's Loveline. I'm Dr. Drew. It's 1-800-LOVE-191. I'm by myself tonight. I'm with my guest, Stacey Valentine. She has a movie called The Girl Next Door. And so you were saying what it was like to sort of make this film, and I imagine you'd feel very exposed because it is a documentary about your life, but you were saying that sitting down and talking in front of the camera became sort of your therapeutic sessions.
Correct, because my mother and father didn't really communicate. My dad would get mad and not talk, so I didn't grow up learning any communication skills. And with the camera, Christine would set up the camera and on a tripod, and it would start rolling, and she would sit down and just say, "So what's been going on?" And so we had a close bond. So it was easy for me to talk to her. I'd be like, "Well, you'll never believe what happened," and
is that how you're able to grow through this thing and get out of it, you think?
Yeah.
You said something about it making you feel powerful.
Yes.
Being in these films.
Yes. The money, being independent, not having to answer to anyone.
Where did you first feel powerless?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because it seems like that your a-hole husband made you powerless.
Yes.
That was powerless. That seemed to be, you said it was sort of a reenactment of something. Where you were powerless. And the kind of power you got being in the porn industry makes me feel like it was a flip side of the same coin. You were still on the same page. Whatever made you feel powerless in childhood, you were still sort of responding to, rather than coming back to a more real place where you could empower yourself in ways that were what you needed in the moment, rather than some primitive leftover business from Dad, I suspect. No?
That's an interesting theory.
Does it make sense? Does it?
There's a little sense in that. I feel that I'm a survivor. I dealt with the choices that I made, some good, some bad. Obviously, I mean, who doesn't? And I came out on top. No pun intended. So I think it's all good.
This is Mike's 24 hours question for Stacey. Mike?
Hey, I'm a big fan of Stacey. I'm just interested in what inspired her to make her movie.
You can talk to her. She's right here.
Hey, Stacy, how you doing?
Hey, I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm a big fan of yours. You're not doing movies anymore?
I retired in February.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did my last movie.
Yeah, what was it?
Red Vibe Diaries Part 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
Yeah, okay.
I wanted to talk to you about the girl next door. I wanted to know, what pretty much inspired you to do the movie and when it's going to be on. I mean, where is it going to be out?
To answer that question, go to the website gndmovie.com, and it lists all the theaters that it's playing throughout the United States.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to get pretty wide release.
Yes.
It's just
yes.
a documentary, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Does it take you behind the scenes and?
Absolutely. You go behind the scenes on sets, at my house, at award shows in Vegas, in France. You go back, you meet my mom and my stepdad.
Ooh, how was that? Your stepdad?
Yeah.
Where's your real dad?
Do you think men get messed up with the whole adult movie industry as much as women do, or is it? You think so many men want to get into the actual industry itself, but.
Well, most guys want to get into the industry to have sex with beautiful women.
Yeah. But do you think?
Yeah.
Are they psychologically after maybe 10, 15 years of doing it? Is it just something they regret, you think?
Possibly. You'd have
men?
to talk to one of the male talents about that.
What do they like, the males that are in this thing?
I'm fortunate to work with a really great group of guys. I've got the upper class guys, and Mark Davis and men like that are really nice and very professional. And
I've heard it's true that you guys only have certain male stars that you'll work with. Is that true?
Correct. I have a list of men I will work with.
Yeah, and what necessary? What I guess the requirements are. Is it based on how clean they are? Or,
that has something to do with it. Looks, and the main thing is their stamina, their wood ability to keep it up. Softies don't go very far in this business.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike?
Thank God for Viagra.
Oh, these guys use Viagra?
I'm sure some of them do. It's not very talked about.
Oh, how interesting. I am in the chat rooms at drdrew.com. I'm in the college chat room. If you have questions for Stacy, you're not getting through on the phone line, 1-800-LOVE-191. Again, you can log on to drdrew.com, go into the college chat room. I'm not going to be typing into there. I may turn the computer over to Stacy. She can type in if she wants. We'll be watching for questions. Let's keep going on the phones. Thomas, 15. Thomas?
Yeah, I'd like to know if my penis is normal.
All right. What's the length?
It's 2 inches.
A little bit small, but you're 15. It's going to take, you've got 6 more years of growth ahead of you. Amber, 22.
Uh-huh.
What's going on, Amber?
Well, I've been married for about 3.5 years.
Uh-huh.
And I've been with my husband for about 4.5.
You started when you're 18?
Huh?
You're 18? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I've never orgasmed with him. It's like...
Where has it happened?
What? Where have I?
Mm-hmm.
Orgasms?
Well, you said not with him.
Not with him. I have, I think I have, woken up in the middle of the night.
It had like
orgasms.
Okay.
But I've never during sex or foreplay or anything.
Okay. Are you okay?
Huh?
You sound real sort of uncomfortable about all this.
Well, it's kind of uncomfortable for me. I've only talked to my female doctor about it.
Okay.
And my first doctor I never talked to about it. But
okay. All right.
I don't know.
It's good you're able to talk to your doctor about it. That's great.
I think women, you need to, actually I suggest a pocket rocket, trying that.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's a small little vibrator. And I don't get stimulated. There's certain ways you probably have an orgasm, like through your clitoris on the outside as opposed to inside. Do you guys have oral sex?
Uh-huh. He goes forever. He'll go forever, and he feels like he takes it personal. And I feel really bad because I'm sure it's not him. I'm wondering too if I work myself up so much for it that I can't, because I'm trying
Too hard.
so hard
Trying too
for
hard.
him. Yeah.
All right, Amber, hold on a second. We're gonna have to take a break right here, and we'll come back and quickly wrap up with Amber. I'm here with Stacey Valentine. The movie is The Girl Next Door. This is Loveline. Adam's at home vomiting. I'm Dr. Drew, and we'll be back.
Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. Back in a minute.
Well, it's worth hearing.
These are the sounds of today's kids. And these are the voices of today's kids.
Don't underestimate me. I can work harder in school.
Give me a problem that's hard to solve.
Give me tougher work. Give me tougher books. When I solve a tough problem, I'm on top of the world.
Surprised? Don't be. 74% of kids say school should only pass them to the next grade when they've learned what's expected of them.
I'm not afraid to fail.
If I make a mistake, I'll do better next time.
75% of kids say they'd study harder if their schools gave them tougher tests. The fact is, almost all kids want to be challenged in school. So listen to the voices of kids today.
Challenge me.
Challenge me. Challenge me.
Do your part. Support higher academic achievement in your state and challenge our schools to challenge our kids. For a free booklet, call 1-800-38-BE-SMART. A message from the Ad Council and the Education Excellence Partnership.
Taking all that work home?
No, this is my own stuff. I've got a date with a financial planner.
You're only 25. Why are you planning for retirement already?
Hey, I want to be able to choose when I retire and know that I'll be financially secure when I do.
I've heard lots of people call themselves financial planners, but aren't they really trying to get you to invest in their favorite fund? Like they're selling size 20 shoes so everyone gets a hello Bigfoot.
Half this stuff is my bank statements, company insurance policies, tax returns. The planner's going to know a lot about me before recommending anything. The rest is background information I've collected on her and 2 other planners. If she passes tonight's round, she gets my papers.
Securing your financial future is important. You have a right to expect financial advice that's competent, ethical, and based on your needs. To verify that a planner is certified, call toll-free 888-CFP-MARK. A public service of the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards.
Hey, driving fans! It may have happened to you. You may have heard the roar of the rumble strips, the blast of car and truck horns, and the heart-pounding fear of a near miss. Avoid all the dangerous crash action that comes with falling asleep at the wheel. Experience the amazing power nap. You've never seen power like this before. The Power Nap. Find out what the professional drivers have been doing for years. The Power Nap gives you the energy you need for the road ahead, and it's free. Whether you're driving to the shore with your family, to another city to meet a client, to school across the state, or anywhere there's action. The Power Nap is your ticket to revitalization. Experience the Power Nap at a rest stop near you. Just pull in, find a safe, well-lighted spot to park, turn off the key, and close your eyes. In just 20 to 30 minutes, you'll have the energy you need to drive safely for miles. So don't push it, park it, and feel the power of the Power Nap. A wake-up call to all drivers from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the American Trucking Association.
It's nearly 6 a.m. and we're at a rest stop talking to travelers. Excuse me?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of circadian rhythms?
It's like a Latin band, right?
Not quite. Do you know what circadian rhythms are?
It's when the stars all align and their energy creates...
No. How about you, sir? Huh? Circadian rhythms. Exactly. Circadian rhythms tell your body when it should be sleeping as well as when it should be awake.
Huh?
Circadian rhythms are part of our body's internal controls, a kind of built-in clock that tells us when to wake up and when to go to sleep each day. Imagine the danger that comes when we try to drive when our body thinks we should be sleeping, especially at night, early morning, and for many people, mid-afternoon. You really should try to avoid driving during your body's downtimes. If you have to drive when you'd normally be sleeping and you find yourself getting drowsy, stop for a refreshing 20 to 30-minute nap. Now what would you say when I say circadian rhythms?
I'd say don't push it, park it.
Right.
A wake-up call from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the American Trucking Associations.
Oh, come on, have a drink.
No thanks.
Just one little drink.
I don't want to.
Chicken, everyone else is.
I said no.
What a nerd. One little drink won't kill you.
You've heard it all before. Be cool, join the crowd, have a drink even though you're not 21.
Let's go, she's no fun.
Make the right choice. Don't give in. Underage drinking is dumb and dangerous.
Look out!
A public service message from the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
There are lightweights. There are middleweights. There are heavyweights. Then there are these guys. 13 feet, 500 pounds of pure power. Don't miss the incredible battle between Lennox Lewis and Michael Grant for the undisputed heavyweight title. Tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on HBO. Lewis versus Grant, only on HBO, the heart and soul of boxing.
Welcome back to Loveline, phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. I'm Dr. Drew. Adam Carolla, my nefarious partner, was at home doing something. He claims it's regurgitating, vomiting. He's got food poisoning, something. I don't know. We'll find out if that's real or not. My guest is Stacey Valentine. She has a documentary about her life, which is going to be released widely, The Girl Next Door. And it really sounds very interesting. It follows her from her life with a total effing a-hole, if I could say, use Adam's language, husband who really was abusive and made her feel powerless, and her way of empowering herself was to get involved in this adult industry. And this movie chronicles her career through that and out on the other side. And it's interesting, you said that the camera and the relationship with she was the director? Should we call her director?
Yes.
Became therapeutic, and I wonder if really that bond that you created with the director. And by the way, Stacey is in the college chat room at drdrew.com interacting with users right now. She's actually the one doing the typing. So I'm sure people are in there going, no, it's not her. It's, we get a billion. Whenever I go in a chat room, I immediately get, it's not really you. It's like, oh, and I'm going to waste my time now defending that it's me. It's really Stacey typing as Dr. DDP right now at the college chat room, drdrew.com. And this bond you had with the director, I suspect may have been part of what allowed you to get out of this, because people really only change and grow by virtue of their connections with other people.
Yes.
And this sounds like one of the very real connections in your life.
Yeah, she's a very powerful, strong woman, and
Did she encourage you to get out?
No. The thing that was hard for her is because she was the filmmaker, she could not get involved in my life, and there are a lot of things that she watched me do that she would, as a friend, would like to have stepped up and said, don't do that, but then she would have been involved in the movie,
in
and
a more
she
real
had
way,
to stay removed from it.
And you now are a friend of hers.
Yes.
And now she does confide in you and advise you.
Absolutely. When I was going to go out on a date the other night, she told me, absolutely not, don't do it. It was a blind date. She's like, no.
Excellent. We were talking to Amber before the break. She's 22. She has been with her husband for 4 years, never had an orgasm. And Stacey was talking about, I don't know, something from NASA, pocket rockets or something. And Amber, you were saying that your husband's very giving and he spends a lot of time with you, right?
Uh-huh.
And in spite of that, no go.
No.
And
I've talked to my doctor about hormones and about. She says, "Well, you look fine." And
no, it's not. Of course, that's not what it is.
Huh?
It's not. Of course, it would not be a biological thing, I suspect. And women 18 to 22 very often have difficulty with this.
Well, I have 2 kids, and so she said, "Well,
I take it back. It could have something to do with it."
Huh?
You what? I'm sorry.
I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
So she said, "Well, your hormones just you need to give them time." Well, I've given them a year and a half since my last baby.
But your hormones have never been right? You've never been able to experience those.
No, I never have.
And what about masturbation?
See, and I'm not comfortable with any of that kind of stuff.
See, and that's kind of what you need to do is figure out how things work.
Well, that's how what most people say to me too about that I need, or I've had a lot of friends tell me get a vibrator, but I just.
Well, that's what Stacey just said. Well,
yeah.
It may not be something that your partner can do for you. You must do for yourself. He can try, if he's a giving guy, an empathic guy, and you're able to communicate to him. Maybe you can work it out together. But it's going to take some experimentation.
So I should probably try something.
Yeah.
If I ever want to.
Yeah.
I think so, because in the privacy of your own home, and not necessarily when your husband's around, and once you know what that what that feeling is like, and you find the right spot, then you can guide him. And I think communication while you're having being romantic is essential.
Now that is another thing. Now I'm of the belief, and I've talked to lots and lots of women through this program and other clinical circumstances, that women really need an emotional connection, or not all women, many women need an emotional connection in order for their normal sort of physiology to take over. They have difficulty if they don't sort of feel intimate. Men can it can be it can be lying on railroad tracks anywhere. And so maybe she also needs to work on the quality of the relationship and the comfort she has with her husband, that sort of thing. Okay, let's keep going with the calls. This is Mike, who's 39. Mike?
How you doing, Dr. Drew?
Good. What's going on?
Hey, pretty good. Hi there, Stacy.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, not too bad. Listen, paying tribute to our departed Ace Rockola, you are hot, hot, hot.
Oh, I thank you, Mike.
Oh, you too, Drew. Hey, thanks, Anderson.
She's in the college chat room at drdrew.com with a couple hundred of her friends, and she's actually typing away under Dr. DDP.
Hey, listen, I have a question. I've been smoking cigarettes for a long time.
Yeah.
I smoked marijuana for 21 years.
Nice.
I gave it up about 2 years ago.
Wonderful.
Now, I've been taking the Zyban, Wellbutrin.
Right.
And I stopped taking it because it made me aggressive.
Yeah, I've had people have that side effect.
Because I was reading something how it's chemically similar in some respects to speed. Have you ever heard that?
Well, it's not chemically similar, but it activates a similar part of the central nervous system, albeit in a non-addictive way.
Because I was wondering if it had like some kind of bearing on the fact that I used to smoke marijuana so much.
No, I'd say not. But it can. Some people get terribly irritable, and when they get irritable, they get aggressive and even violent sometimes.
Yeah, because I almost went off on my boss, and I had to stop myself and say, "What the heck am I doing?"
Yeah, that's irritability.
Okay. Well, anyway, is there anything else you think might be able to help me?
Nicotine replacement patches.
Yeah.
Gum. Lower dose of Wellbutrin, maybe. Work with a doctor.
That might do it.
Maybe. I've been using Wellbutrin for a long time for addiction withdrawal. I've been using it for stimulants for a long time, and it does work, so I do recommend it strongly.
Okay.
It really, really helps.
Okay,
Especially for an addict. Did you have ADD when you were a kid?
No.
Okay.
No, I just got hooked up with the wrong people and used it for a crutch for 21 years. I actually didn't go through the depression stage you talked about so often.
Why'd you stop then?
Because I was no longer with the woman who I was codependent with.
Oh,
we were both mutual addicts, so to speak. And
were you using every day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you liked it. And you liked it.
I loved it.
Oh,
loved
well,
it.
there you go.
Now when I smell somebody smoking it, it gets me to the point where I'm angry about it. Like, oh man, I wasted so much time on that junk.
Interesting.
Because I had to worry about, I can't go to this job interview because they're going to drug test me. I can't do this. I can't do that. So I just kind of stayed in neutral.
Interesting. Well, I'm glad you're out.
I am too. Hey, kudos to you, Dr. Drew.
Thanks, Mike.
Doing a big service to a lot of kids that wish you were around 20 years ago.
Thanks, appreciate it. Actually, I was. But no, thanks, Mike. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Believe it or not, I started doing this like 17 years ago, but I wasn't doing it as regularly. I didn't know quite as much what I was talking about. Eric is 20.
Hi. I had a sexual relationship when I was younger with my cousin, and for as long as I can remember, probably from about that period, I've had feelings of guilt and low self-esteem.
How old were you when this happened?
I can't pinpoint it, but I would estimate I was 6, 7, maybe 5 years old.
This was a he or a she?
It was a she.
How old was she?
She was 2 years younger than I am, and the problem arose, part of it, when my older cousin, who was 2 years older than I, walked in and witnessed this. I was exposing myself to her when he walked in.
Well, now wait a minute. Were you actually having sex with her?
No, just a lot of heavy petting, fondling, without clothing, fondling.
A certain amount of that is normal, Eric, as long as it's not sort of sexually directed, like you're going to have intercourse and things. So it sounds more like that the exposure was what the problem was, that you were sort of engaged in kind of an intimate, naughty thing, and somebody caught you, and that made you feel so awful.
Yeah, it was repeatedly. We'd do it in the back seat of the car where the parents were in the car.
So the problem is you already felt so bad and guilty about what you were doing, and then being caught just put it over the top. This is not usually the kind of thing, unless the other child had been sexually abused and really was directing this in a sexual way. This doesn't have to be destructive. How are your relationships?
very poor. I feel I've got an intrusive parent.
Yeah.
And throughout high school, junior high throughout high school, I repeatedly would form very strong codependent attachments to people who would later just totally reject me, just, I mean, to my face, say I was an idiot.
Oh, boy.
And
yeah.
I'd still sort of cling to them.
Oof.
And at one point I got into smoking marijuana multiple times a day in high school.
Are you an addict?
I haven't done anything. I haven't smoked any pot in a year and a half, probably. I feel like there's a little bit of manic depression in my family. I feel like I do have strong emotional responses.
Why don't you get checked out, get some help?
That would be a good idea. In addition to that...
Don't waste so much time. I mean, if you get in some sort of therapeutic circumstance, maybe you can get through this and get more effective in your choices and relationships and really get going here.
Okay.
A 12-step program would be effective for you, too, I suspect.
12-step? Is that a drug rehabilitation?
Well, just start with a codependency recovery like Al-Anon. I mean,
Okay.
you describe, you've got sort of that complex going on, that codependency circumstance. And
Yeah, I feel my dad's probably manic depressive.
well, dealing with a mentally ill patient, a family member can create a sort of a codependency. There could be help with a 12-step process if you feel uncomfortable going to a recovery program. Stacey, what's going on in that chat room?
There's somebody that really wants to know where I live. I already told you, California. Stop asking me.
Yeah. Do not, she is not going to tell you, stalker. Jeez. And we can track you at drdrew.com. I got news for you. Robert's 26. Robert?
Hello?
Hey.
Yeah, how you doing, Dr. Drew?
Good, I'm good. Adam's gone. Stacey Valentine's here.
Hello, Stacey.
Hi.
Listen, maybe this is a good day for me to call and ask you my problems. I'm 26, and, through high school, I never had a date. That's because I felt kind of, awkward, and I was new in the country at the time. I'm a bit nervous, so,
Okay, go ahead, Robert.
And so now at 26, I feel like I missed that, dating younger girls.
Oh, boy.
So now
I'm
I
afraid
like
of where you're going.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? I know it's wrong, so, I want some advice. I want you to tell me that it's wrong.
Well, don't do it. That's easy enough. That's easy. You know better. You know
Well,
where it's coming from. Look, if you get connected with one person your age, all this other crap's going to go away. You just need some success.
I do have a girlfriend.
Well, why do you want... You're not happy with her?
I'm happy with her. I love her.
Well, why would you want to date somebody else?
See, it's not that I want to date. It's rather I want to see what I missed being with her. Because I know I hear your show very often.
Yeah.
And I hear these teens, telling that they have relationships, and it actually makes me feel like I missed that,
Well, you did, and you need to sort of find ways to capture that part of yourself, that adolescent self that you sort of skipped over. But an inappropriate way to get in touch with that is to start relating to other adolescents. You're not adolescent anymore. You need to stay focused on what's real about you in the present, and maybe engage in some activities that you lost or didn't have an opportunity to perform because you were whatever you were doing during your adolescence, whether it's skiing or whatever, some sort of activity that might sort of get you in touch with that part of yourself. But an inappropriate way to do it is to try to sort of hunt down other 16, 17, 18-year-olds. That is a disaster. Tina's 29. Tina?
Hi.
Hang on a second. What are they saying in there? I'm over. Stacey's having a great time in the chat room. And you're the fastest typist I've ever seen. What's happening?
Somebody's very excited that I talked about him on the radio. He keeps
the one that's stalking you.
typing.
Tina, 29.
Hi. I've heard you talk about child molestation, child with child.
Child on child, yeah.
Okay. I am married, and I have little or no sex drive, and it becomes really frustrating with my husband. You can imagine. And
Are you on any medication?
None.
You have no medical problems, anything like that?
No, none whatsoever.
All right.
But I don't know what it is. He's a wonderful husband. I have no idea. I mean, he's everything I've ever wanted. And
did this suddenly drop off?
Before we were married, it was wonderful.
Are you depressed?
Yeah, I go through depression.
Maybe that needs to be treated.
sorry?
You're on the other. I hear you sighing on the other end.
I'm nervous.
Well, you're depressed. If you're that's a sign of depression.
Okay.
And for women, a drop off in libido is a very sensitive indicator of depression. Now, maybe now whether or not there's something from your past you want to tell me about, or?
Well, I was just wondering, when I was a child, my parents had best friends, and they had a daughter who was 4 years older than me, and they would go, say, out for dinner or whatever, and she was left to kind of make sure that I got in bed on time and things like that, and we did the whole truth or dare thing, and I remember distinctly there was a time when it was truth or dare, and I dare you to take off your panties and touch private parts type thing.
Yeah, it's kind of normal.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be anything serious with that. Again, it's when it becomes sexually directed that it tends to traumatize kids.
Okay.
In other words, one of the kids was sexually abused, has been overtly sexualized, and then takes that brain that they now have, which is different than the usual child's brain, and acts it out on another child.
Okay.
It's sort of a contagion.
Okay.
I would suspect the most likely thing here is actually depression.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
I would suspect the most likely thing here is actually depression.
All right.
All right?
And suggested help for that?
You see your doctor, just to start out with, to get evaluation.
Gynecologist or family practitioner?
Family practitioner would be the place to start.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks.
All right, Tina. This is Dean. Has a question for Stacy. Dean is 30.
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah, I had a couple questions for Stacy. The first one, I came in late on the show, so I apologize. But what years were you in the adult film industry? And I wanted to know. You said you became kind of empowered, and I was wondering if working with all those women and doing bisexual scenes, if that was part of your empowerment.
No. With working with women, I am bisexual. I'm attracted to women, and so I thank you. Thank you very much. Women are beautiful. They're amazing. I know why guys are so obsessed with women. No, we're great. But no, that didn't have anything to do with that. Actually, the empowerment.
Well, when you were with that abusive a-hole or whatever, did you know you were bisexual then?
Yes.
Oh,
I've always fantasized about women, especially breasts.
Okay,
Thank
all
you
right.
again.
I didn't know whether it was something that you picked up later in porn or you knew the whole time.
No, yes. I was very aware of my sexuality.
So then, who was your favorite starlet to work with?
Sydney Steele. She's a great friend as well, and that's what attracts me even more than, I mean, she's beautiful, but her personality is just amazing. So she's my favorite, and I started I did my first scene on Valentine's Day in '96. That's how I get my name, and I retired at the end of February of this year. So 4 years.
Oh boy.
Wow.
That sounded a little bit weird.
Woohoo.
Tom, 20. Tom.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. I just had a little question.
Yeah.
Well, I have these two little holes, and they're on my penis. Now, it's like I was pierced. I've heard a lot of different things. Maybe that it has to do with the circumcision, actually.
Yeah. Oh, are they sort of on the near the head on the underside?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what that is. It's just simply that. Something happened?
Performed an illegal operation.
Uh-oh.
Ouch.
It logged off. Lynn, 19. Lynn? Lynn?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
There you
it
are.
was Ben.
Caller who goes by Lynn.
Yes. I have panic disorder.
Just real quick, for the people that are at drdrew.com, the machine just screwed up on us here. We're going to get back into the chat rooms in a second. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Lynn.
Oh, okay. I have panic disorder, and last night I was having sex with my boyfriend, and I was breathing hard, and then afterwards I could not catch my breath for like 45 minutes. I mean, it was like someone with asthma or something. I just could not breathe.
Do you have asthma?
No, I don't.
There are things that can trigger what's called bronchospasm. Did you see anyone about this?
No, I didn't. It finally, went away, but I do feel like the physical symptoms of anxiety, like now my chest feels tight, my heart seems to be pounding like all day today.
Well, but that could be from an asthmatic reaction too. Be careful. It's interesting. Anxiety certainly can mimic just about any medical syndrome you can imagine.
Yeah.
But don't always dismiss it as that.
Okay.
And just being all kinds of things can trigger what's called bronchospasm, where your airways will tighten down a little bit. And the ability for air to flow down those airways are profoundly affected by the diameter of the airway.
Yeah.
And a small change, a small muscular contraction in the airway smooth muscle will cause substantial symptoms. Difficulty breathing, chest tightness, rapid heartbeat, all that. There's certainly a possibility. So I'd go see a doctor about it. They're very simple sometimes to treat this.
Would smoking affect that?
It certainly put you at risk for it.
I have one other question just real quick. It has to do with panic disorder.
Yeah.
Does drinking tend to, I mean, I'm on Paxil to treat it. Does drinking, exacerbate
Tends to.
panic disorder?
Yeah, it tends to.
Huh?
Not necessarily, but it certainly can.
Okay, because it seems like I've been drinking more lately, and now my panic disorder the panic attacks seem to be a little more common. So I wasn't sure if it had anything to do with that.
Why are you drinking more lately?
I'm not sure. It seems to be sort of a cycle. I feel more anxious during the day, and sometimes the only way to get rid of it is by having a couple of beers. But I'm not sure if that's then leading to, more of the anxiety or what.
Is there alcoholism in your family?
Yeah.
You may have that gene. If you're using alcohol as a way of managing anxiety, that's not an
I
appropriate way to use it.
recognize that in myself. I see myself heading straight down that path.
Yeah, so whoever's prescribing your Paxil, you need to begin discussing it with them, all right?
I'm sorry, what?
You need to talk to the doctor who's prescribing your Paxil about these behaviors.
Oh, okay.
It really is important. And know that, yes, absolutely, as the alcohol picks up momentum, your panic will get worse.
Okay.
All right?
All right, thank you very much.
It is Loveline. I'm Dr. Drew. The phone number here is 1-800-LOVE-191. I'm desperately trying to log back into the college chat room at drdrew.com where we fell out just a second ago, and I can't figure out why I can't log back in. Stacey Valentine is my guest. The movie is The Girl Next Door. Being wide release when?
It's already started.
Starting wide release.
Yes.
You got to check that out. And there's a website they can check for local listings.
Yes, it's www.gndmovie.com.
And we'll be back in just a minute.
Yo, Loveline will be right back, homie.
To make this commercial more believable, I'm joined today by several real, I stress real, Geico Auto Insurance customers. Warren Foster, Karen Ellis, and Robin Kaspar. I wish we had time to talk, but this is a 30-second radio commercial. So, people, if you saved money with Geico, just nod your heads. And they're nodding. You could join the millions who nod, too. In 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. 1-800-947-AUTO. Geico Direct, the sensible alternative.
The biggest name in club music is back with 24 smash hits on 2 unforgettable CDs. It's the Best of Club Mix from K-Tel Cold Front with #1 dance hits by Tag Team, Christine W., Robin, LaBouche, Moby, and more. 2 CDs, 24 non-stop hits. The Best of Club Mix. Pick it up at Best Buy or at KTEL.com.
Hi, I'm Serenity, and these are my friends, Missy and Stephanie.
You know, a lot of things happen to us every day that we have no control over.
But HIV and other sexually transmitted diseases aren't things that just happen to you. You do have a choice.
You can choose to use a condom, have safe sex, and take control of your life.
Asking for a condom isn't stupid. It's smart. It shows that you care about yourself and your partner.
You can do something about sexually transmitted diseases.
Use a condom.
Every partner.
Every time.
We do.
A message brought to you by Wicked Pictures and AIDS Project Los Angeles.
Oh, come on, have a drink.
No thanks.
Just one little drink.
I don't want to.
Chicken, everyone else is.
I said no.
What a nerd. One little drink won't kill you.
You've heard it all before. Be cool. Join the crowd. Have a drink even though you're not 21.
Let's go. She's no fun.
Make the right choice. Don't give in. Underage drinking is dumb and dangerous.
Look out!
A public service message from the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Somewhere in our community is a mother whose drug abuse once left her unable to care for her kids. There's a father, too, whose alcohol use drove his wife and children away. There's a boyfriend whose drug use frightened his girlfriend into giving him an ultimatum: get help or I'm gone. Help is available. It's in the form of treatment programs for drug abuse and alcohol problems, and the good news is that these programs are making a big difference in people's lives. With proper treatment, mothers and fathers, sweethearts and coworkers, friends and neighbors are overcoming drug and alcohol problems and reclaiming their lives. Isn't it great that treatment works? To find out about drug and alcohol treatment programs that can help, call 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-HELP. There is help, and it works. A public service of this station and the Center for Substance Abuse Treatment.
Dad, I don't think our campfire's totally out.
Are you kidding me? I know when a campfire's out.
Did you drown the fire with water and stir it with a stick?
No, it's out. We don't have to... Who said that?
Frank, it's a talking moose with sunglasses.
And a bunch of singing and dancing forest animals.
We know we can count on you to do what Smokey says.
And when your folks desire to build a fire,
Hot, hot.
clear brush and branches away, and keep water nearby like you oughta.
Okay, I poured water on the fire. I stirred it with a stick. Everybody walked slowly toward the RV.
Dad, these are just Smokey's friends.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Frank, it's Smokey.
Nice hat, Smokey. Want the rest of my peanut butter sandwich?
Dad!
Visit Smokey at www.smokeybear.com. Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, the National Association of State Foresters, and the Ad Council.
Dr. Drew, it's Loveline. Adam's not here. I'm here with Stacey Valentine. Let's go right back to the phone. Albert is 19. Albert.
Hi, Dr. Drew. What's
Hey,
going on?
not much.
Just had two real quick questions for you.
Uh-huh.
First of all, what is the likeliness of catching HIV through oral sex?
Nobody can tell you for sure. It's only recently been proven that it can occur, though.
It can occur.
It can occur.
Okay, and also, does a person have to have a herpes or genital warts breakout in order for someone else to contract them?
Absolutely not, especially the wart situation. But neither the herpes tends to be transmitted when there's an outbreak, but neither the wart nor the herpes needs to be active for a transmission to occur.
Okay, well, thanks a lot.
All right, take care. This now is Christina, who is 26. Christina.
Yes. I was just wondering, my husband and I have been married for 2.5 years, and he's very interested in having anal sex, and we've tried it before, but it's very painful for me. I didn't know if there was something that could help that, or maybe I just can't do that.
I have an answer to that. When you tried it, did you use lubrication?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, and the way I would get ready for my anal scenes was I would use what's called a non-skid butt plug.
What?
It's called a butt plug. I would start off with a small one and move up to a medium-sized one and then to a large one, depending on my partner, to loosen up those muscles, because it is quite a shock.
Yeah.
But Christina, is it that important to you to engage in this stuff?
Well...
That you have to use graduated cylinders in order to let your body accommodate this?
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I did that for my business, but why are you doing it? Are you doing it because he's pressuring you? And if so...
No, and actually...
And why do you sound 12?
I do?
Yeah.
No, I'm not 12. I'm 26.
Did something happen to you when you were 12?
Excuse me?
Were you traumatized when you were 10 or 11?
Yeah.
What happened?
Abuse.
At what age?
My father.
At what age?
11.
You're so smart.
You can hear it. You can just hear it. Christina, yeah. Now, let me continue to use my clairvoyance. She is involved with a guy like your husband, like Stacy's husband. So let Stacy tell you what to do about this.
Okay.
With the anal sex, okay.
No.
Oh, what?
About what it is to be involved with an a-hole. Because her dad sexually abused her when she was 10 years old, and now she's involved with a guy who's demanding all the stuff for her that she thinks she has to do. You know what I mean? The stuff you used to do on behalf of your husband, here she is. It's Stacy at 26.
That had a lot to do with my self-esteem. I had no self-esteem, and you're worth so much more. I mean, don't ever settle, and don't let him plant that in your mind that that's what you want to do, because it's hurting you. And I don't think that's turning you on or making you feel very good. I mean, if it's painful.
Well, he doesn't ask me for it that often. It's just that when he did mention it, I've thought about it, and then we tried, and then it was painful, and then we haven't tried since.
But Christina, what kind of guy are you involved with? Your husband?
Huh?
What kind of guy is your husband?
He's a very, very, very good husband. Very hardworking and loyal.
All right. So.
Okay.
Okay, bye, Christina. Okay, Stacy is back in the college chat room. She's now as Dr. DDPP, because I'm well aware there's some imposter in there as Dr. DDP.
Asshole.
And understand that is impersonating a physician and is a federal offense. So we will be after that person. This is Thomas, 17. Thomas?
Yeah, hi, Dr. Drew. How's it going?
Good.
First, I'd like to commend you on your show. I think it's great that you help teenagers have someone to call.
Thanks.
When they need help. And also, Stacy, I think it's great that you get out of the porn industry.
Thank you.
It's probably, I'm not bashing it or anything, but I probably don't think it's the greatest thing for
Let me ask Stacy something about, if you had been Christina calling this show talking about your husband, wouldn't you have been defending him?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's the greatest. He's hardworking. He's a wonderful man. I want to make him happy. How do you make a woman see what they're really involved with, or can you?
I don't think you can. That's one of those life lessons that you have to learn yourself, which I wish I would have listened to half of the things my mother told me, because she was right about all of them.
Wow, that's interesting. All right, Thomas, what's up?
Oh, okay. Well, about a month ago, I noticed when I was hard that I have these two. I don't know. They look kind of like warts.
Where?
On the shaft of my penis.
Maybe they are warts.
I don't I can't see them when I'm limp.
Are you sexually active?
I get oral sex quite often. I've been getting oral sex from someone. I know that she's given it to other guys before.
Well, it's not a great way to transmit the wart virus. Have you ever had intercourse?
Yes, when I was a little bit younger, when I was about 15.
All right, so were you using a condom? Is it possible you can contract the warts through that?
No, I used a condom, and this is someone that I had known for quite a while. It was like a relationship type of deal.
All right, so it might be the pearly penile papules. That's
What's
the other
that?
thing. Pearly penile papules, which are these little sort of wart-like things that appear along the shaft of the penis. They're often can have a hair follicle with hair associated with it. PPP, pearly penile papules. But if you have any question, you should, of course, continue to wear a condom and then have a doctor take a look at it. Julia's 24.
Hi.
Hey.
Yes. Dr. Drew,
Hey.
I wanted to say that I enjoy this show so much more when Adam's not on.
God, Julia, I love you. Thank you.
Dare you?
It's so much more informationally intensive.
Thank you. I like that drop. Tell me that drop again.
Informationally
How
intensive?
dare you?
That one.
My question, you never talk about living together.
That's true, we don't.
Ever. And my question is this. My father is a psychologist, and he's also very religious.
Yeah.
And so I think that he has some information, but I wonder how much of it is tainted. And
Yeah.
my boyfriend and I are thinking about moving in together, and he is adamant that it's the worst thing that I can do. It's going to be the end of this relationship. It's blah, 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 blah. Is there any validity to that?
There actually is. I've
Okay.
seen some studies that show improved outcomes of people that don't live together before they get married. I have trouble believing that's accurate. I don't see any problem with it, but that may just be my opinion. Maybe I'm tainting it.
What kind of groups are coming out with this information?
I don't remember where I've read this, but I've definitely read some data, and it's limited studies, not great, big studies or anything. And I wasn't, overwhelmed with the study design and execution. However, the fact that it was enough to catch my attention sort of surprised me, and that the outcome was so clearly an improved outcome. So
the
it doesn't fit my experience, okay? And so I suspect that it's probably tainted in some way. But I don't want to bias the data. Was the data?
Okay.
And I don't see any problem with it. I lived with my wife for a while before we got married. I think it's I really don't see any problem with it. I think it's more that if I would argue that if you see data that shows, in fact, if good data shows that that's the case, that it must say something more about the conditions under which people get into their living arrangement than the fact that they live together. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That was
Yeah.
my understanding also.
Yeah, and
I think a lot of people move in together because it'll be cheaper
or whatever, or they're pregnant, or they have to, or whatever, or somebody has expectations and the other one doesn't, but it's convenient for them. What could it possibly be about living together that intrinsically could be bad for a relationship? I don't see it.
Right.
Do you?
I can't think of anything.
I don't see it. I don't see it. Other than sort of creating more sort of, people talk about creating more romance and more sort of, I don't want to use the word idealized, but sort of invest more in the intimacy, and that by creating a specialness to it, maybe you can
You're
invest
cutting in
more.
and out. I can hardly hear you.
See, I understand. There's some problem with it. You're not the first person to complain of that, Julia.
Okay.
That when on the phone, people don't hear everything I say.
Okay.
Julia.
Yes.
Go live with your boyfriend.
Okay, thank
All right,
you.
bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, this is Jenny, 29.
Hi, Dr. Drew.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have I don't know if I'm really looking for an answer to a question, maybe more of a confirmation.
Hold on a second, Jenny. Do you wanted to ask something that's in the chat rooms?
Yeah, someone was asking me about my implants, and they had a double I can't pronounce it.
They'd had a mastectomy.
Thank you.
No.
But it doesn't. It just stops it since my what?
Mastectomy, probably. I have a number of patients that have had the sort of reconstructive surgery with implant, and it really works well. I think that it helps people restore their sense of themselves as women.
Absolutely.
And something's been taken away from them, and this is an opportunity to help them restore that and actually just shape things in what they want. And it can be quite empowering, I would think, in the setting of a double mastectomy where something is being taken away and there's such traumatic circumstances.
Correct,
and
that's
disfigurement.
It's such a feminine. And that's the way society portrays femininity. Femininity, excuse me, by the breasts.
Jenny.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just wondering. I was adopted at birth, and I grew up in a very good family, but I always had problems with that. I found out recently that I was born to drug addict parents. My father was molesting my sister, who stayed in the family.
Oh, boy.
And
Thank God you were adopted out.
Oh, thank God! It's no fairy tale what I've discovered in this search.
Oh, boy.
But I waited till I was of an adult age and ready to handle it with the support of my family. But it answered a lot of questions because I was hit by this. I started using drugs at a very young age. I quit that at age 20. I haven't used for almost 10 years. But I went into these relationships from hell, my God, and this is very genetic, isn't it?
Well, the disease is. The relationships from hell part probably isn't, although addicts do tend to use thrill-seeking mechanisms as a way of sort of regulating their emotional world, and so relationships that have a high degree of risk and the thrill associated with them may be things you're attracted to. Also, God only knows what kind of imprinting goes on in early childhood. How old were you when you were adopted out?
I was adopted at birth.
So it's hard to imagine that had a significant effect on it. But the disease itself, it's a 50-50 chance that you're going to get the disease, and you clearly got the gene.
Yeah, but what I'm worried about, too, is I know my biological mother was using drugs. I think she was using them when she was pregnant with me. And what kind of effects would that have on me today? Is there anything I should be looking for? Or?
If you would have known it already. It's about neurologic development, those sorts of things. And no, if you're at 29 and haven't had any measurable effects from that, don't think that has anything to do with what's going on right now.
Yeah, no, I think I'm doing all right. But to your listeners who, like there was a girl earlier who was pregnant, didn't know what to do with it, get rid of it.
You mean adopt out, or do you mean abortion?
Either way. I mean, I'm grateful for life, but you know what? If I had a choice to either grow up in that or be aborted, I would have rather been aborted.
Okay.
I'm grateful for the life I've had. I'm so thankful.
Okay, Jenny, thanks.
But thank you.
Okay.
I think it locked up again.
Oh, did it?
Nothing else is coming through.
Oh, boy. Always to stop with the mastectomy thing. It is Loveline. I'm Dr. Drew. The phone number is 1-800-LOVE-191. I'm here with Stacey Valentine. The movie is The Girl Next Door. It is a documentary about her life, starting as a housewife with an a-hole husband in Oklahoma, chronicling her through a stardom in the adult industry, and then out. Does it chronicle all the way through you getting out of the industry too?
No, we had to end it. She had to end it sometime. It was only supposed to be filming for a year, but my career kept climbing, and she needed an ending. So my ending was, well, I can't give away the ending. You'll have to see it.
Fair enough. It's Loveline. We'll be back in just a minute.
Sounds great, sure.
Back once again with it.
Loveline. Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. We'll be right back before you know it.
This is a story about American heroes. They changed quite a few lives last year. Jorge Vasquez put out fires, but no, he's not a firefighter. Philip Dale discovered several new stars. Oh, he's not an astronomer. And Elaine Capobianco, she saved a child from drowning, but she's not a lifeguard. They're teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
I'm a teacher. The children are the heroes.
We're not just teaching subject matter, we're teaching human beings.
I am tough as nails, but they know that I love them.
I mean, we've got a legacy that follows behind us forever.
Teachers have the power to make an impact on our future. California will need about 250,000 more of them in the next 10 years. Reach for that power. Teach. Call 1-888-CAL-TEACH now. A public service message brought to you by CalTeach, the Ad Council, and this station.
Okay, so I'm a teenager, right? And everyone's so quick to judge me. On the outside, I may look like... But on the inside, I'm all... Just because I look like... doesn't mean I act that way. In fact, I'm actually involved in crime prevention. That sounds more like this. It's really a great way to convince adults that while you may be looking, you're really thinking.
Call 1-800-722-TEENS to find out how to make your community a safer place for everyone. Get involved, get the number, and call 1-800-722-TEENS. A public service message from the Crime Prevention Coalition of America, the U.S. Department of Justice, and the Ad Council.
Evening, folks. I'm Vince.
And I'm Larry. We're the Crash Test Dummies.
We'd like to entertain you with a little song. Only one thing.
We can't sing, but we're here with someone who can, with a song for the little ones. Ray?
Mr. Charles?
On the big highway of life, there's only one safe place for kids.
Backseat, baby.
The front seat's not the place to drop out.
Baby.
Put that booties in the backseat.
Backseat, baby.
Airbags and kids should never meet. I'm here to remind you to put them behind you.
Raymundo, do you mind if we try?
Oh, will it hurt?
Backseat, baby, better buckled in the back.
Backseat, baby.
Baby faces stay intact.
Larry, yo, Larry, maybe you should keep your day job.
Ow, that hurts.
Not as much as our day job.
Backseat, baby. You stay alive even when I drive.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your kids in the back seat. A message from the Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Dear Jim, I just wanted to tell you the things I love so much about you. Like your pasty white belly and how it fits in those tight shirts that my friends think you shouldn't be wearing. I love how you do that thing where you mash 4 slices of bread into a massive ball of dough and stuff it in your mouth. That's so adorable. And what about when you tell those same jokes from reruns that you've seen over and over again? They make me laugh every single time. Other guys play sports or go running or do something outside, but not you. You're different.
Guys, rest assured you will never in your life meet a girl like this.
P.S. I can't wait until we cuddle in front of pro wrestling all day this Saturday. I hear it's a steel cage Texas death match.
Get some exercise. Get up. Get out. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council and the President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports.
Hey, it's Loveline. I'm Dr. Drew. Adam Carolla's at home. He's vomiting. Yeah, he is, I guess. We've heard nothing from him since a minute before the show, and did he sound sick?
I don't know. Do you have his number? Let's call him.
I don't remember. I have it in my car. Anyway, my guest is Stacey Valentine. The movie is The Girl Next Door. This movie is a documentary chronicling her life, and it sounds very, very interesting. It's on wide release. You can check out local releases on the website.
On the website, www.gndmovie.com.
gndmovie.com. And she is now in the college chat room at drdrew.com. She is signed in as Dr. DDPP. And we're going back to the phones. Let's hold on a second. This is Kim, 18. Kim?
Hi.
Hey.
Before I was married to my husband, we were separated for almost a year, and he got another woman pregnant. And about a month after our marriage, their son was born. And he left for the Army 10 days after our wedding, and I have not been faithful.
You have not been, or he has not been?
I have not been.
Okay. So he's been gone. When was the wedding?
January 8th.
And he's been gone for 4 months.
Mm-hmm. He's coming back tomorrow. I just feel this uncontrollable rage against him for what he did. We have a 2.5-year-old daughter together, but she has his son. And I kind of feel like...
Wait a minute. You were separated when he got her pregnant, right?
Yeah. The thing is that he says that he always loved me.
Right. And is it reasonable that he might have dated other people during that year that you were apart?
Yeah.
Is it reasonable he might have had sexual relationships with somebody during that year, during that 12 months? Did you during that 12 months?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That would be normal on both of your parts. And he had an accident, bad judgment, I'll give you that. But it's not like his behavior was totally out of line.
No.
Okay, so what's the problem?
I don't know whether I should encourage him to go back and see her and see his son.
Well, that's his decision, I suspect. It seems to me that he ought to be focusing on his family that he's establishing with you. I certainly agree with that. But where in the hell is this rage coming from, Kim? It's not about him.
No, he didn't. If he still loved me and wanted me back, why didn't he take precautions with her?
I'm sure if he could have taken it back, he would have. If you still loved him, why did you have sex with any other man?
But I didn't.
You didn't have a relationship during that year?
No, I didn't think that I still loved him at the time.
Oh.
I was 17.
Kim, how old were you when your dad left?
I came home from kindergarten and my mom was packing her stuff.
Okay, so that's who you're really mad at.
But my dad never actually left.
Well,
I still saw him on the weekends.
He fractured the family, and you felt fractured, and that's what you're angry at. And how dare your husband sort of put you in harm's way again? In fact, you're going to, even though he hasn't, you're going to make him into your dad and act it out on him.
Oh.
He's not your dad. He doesn't sound like the kind of guy who wants to leave you. And by the way, just the fact that he's gone probably enrages you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you're acting out like you are. You need to get your S together here, Kim. You've got a child now. You can't go on responding to what Dad had done. What's the matter? Anderson's in there talking to me. You can't go on. It's time to be mom. You're 18. God knows you shouldn't be having a kid at that age anyway, but you've got it, and now that's it. No more chance to explore and experiment with your residual feelings of rage towards your dad. You got to get it together and make this family work. Your husband loves you. He says he loves you. He married you. He's coming back. He wants to form a family with you. Don't start asking him to do things that's going to enrage you even more because you're pissed at your dad. Sheesh. You mad at your dad?
Yes, I am. I haven't spoken to my father since I was 16.
How come?
That was abuse.
He abused you?
He cracked my nose. Yes, I called him a liar, and he cracked my nose.
At 16?
Yes. I haven't spoken to him since.
How about before? He must have been an abusive guy before that.
He did. I believe in spanking, but not when you're mad.
He physically abused you, yeah.
And he would spank me when he was mad with a belt.
Oh.
So.
That's physical abuse. That's physical abuse. So that's where the dad, that's where that guy came into the picture, the abusive boyfriend.
Yeah. and
husband.
Yeah.
Well, you know, here's the thing about life, is excuse me, you gotta block that. I thought it was on the web for a second. The stuff that happens to you when you're younger, you have no control over, and the path you take in order to deal with that ultimately is under your control, and you get where you get by whatever means you get there. But you got to make sure that you don't get caught in any potholes along the way or in any quicksand, and that you keep growing. You get through whatever that original issue was, so you can finally live as a separate person without the ghosts of the past. Craig, you're 22.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, pretty good. Hey, I had a question. Can you get mononucleosis from vaginal fluid?
Yes.
You can.
It's
Okay.
just a fluid. It's a fluid disease.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It was just a body of fluid.
Yep.
It was mucous membrane.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Bye. Greg is 20. Greg?
Yes.
Hey, what's going on?
Not too much. How you doing?
Good.
All right. Here's my situation. I came from Minnesota to Washington, moved in with my teacher, one of my teachers from high school, of course, 2 years later.
Why?
She was here, and I needed a place to stay, so it worked out. And her and her husband, actually, so they gave me a place to stay.
All right.
I lived with them for two or 3 months, and then I moved out, and now I don't live with them anymore. But of course, I still stay in contact with her, and now she's got actually she did and has had a problem with alcohol.
Right.
And so I've kind of been here to support her through it all, and it's kind of escalated into more than helping.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's nothing super sketch or anything. It's not like nothing major has happened, like nothing infidelis or anything of the sorts. Just kind of weird talks and little bit of cuddling and things like that. Nothing major though.
Well, and she is well into her disease, right?
Yeah.
And she is not going for treatment?
No.
You got to get out of there.
Yeah.
She's an alcoholic and she's in her disease well in, and there's no telling what kind of behavior you can get trapped in here. This is a person with an illness that is running amok, and you do not want to get in the middle of this.
For me, it's like abandonment, though. She's my friend, you know.
Was your mom an alcoholic?
Hers?
Yours.
Mine? No.
Dad?
No. The closest thing, I think, was my uncle, and he's recovering now, has been for 10 or 15.
Whose brother was he?
My dad's.
Your dad's. So does Dad have a little momentum with alcohol, maybe?
Does my dad?
Yeah.
Not at all, no.
Yeah.
My family is completely normal. I had abuse from a neighbor, but my family has been totally cool.
What was the abuse you had?
Sexual.
Oh, boy. Well, Greg, listen. You can what you've got to do is tell her she must be treated.
Yeah, and she knows that.
Okay, and that's it. If she doesn't follow through, that is her choice. That's the one thing alcoholics do have a choice over, is to go ahead and access treatment.
True.
And if she is not willing to do that, the only way she is going to ever come to treatment is with consequence, and you've got to deliver some of that consequence. By leaving.
By leaving.
Loss is what gets alcoholics' attention, and you may be one of the losses. But believe me, right now she's just using you.
Okay.
I guarantee it. And you need to get her to treatment. You
right.
cannot treat her. You cannot support her. You are enabling her if you do not take some action with this person well into this disease. Okay?
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Good luck.
Bye.
Did we lock up here?
I'm responding, but it's not showing up.
Oh. You know what? Maybe it's scrolling so fast it's going up the screen here or something. That is, we can't talk about these chats, Anderson, without you getting a little weird on us.
Hey, earlier when you were talking to that girl and you asked me what I was talking about, you had almost said the S word, and I just didn't want to, go on and mix up the flow, but that's what I was freaking out about.
No, I did say it.
And then you ended up saying it.
Yeah,
so
I know.
You're a little off. You need Adam.
I have to bring the Adam piece in here. Okay, let's keep going. Here's one for you, Stacy. It says Levi is 19. Levi?
Yeah, hi, Dr. Drew.
Hey.
Nice to be talking to you and Stacy.
Hey.
I had a question for you.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, I've been with her for 4 years, and we've had sex for about 3 years now, and she does not have orgasms.
How old is she?
She's just turned 18.
Hang on one second. Is this not going on the screen?
Why?
It's not. Oh, we're logged out. Somebody's jamming our website. All right, I'm logging Stacy off just for that. You guys. Go ahead. Go ahead, Levi. Talk to Stacy about this.
Yeah, I can't figure out why she don't have orgasms. I mean, she gets.
Has she had orgasms before? I mean, with anyone else or masturbation?
She's been with me, and that's it.
Okay. Has she ever tried masturbation? I think that.
Has she?
Yes.
No, she doesn't do that.
Because self-awareness is everything, and if she knows how she can pleasure herself, she can tell you, what, she can tell you, communicate to you where to go and what feels good.
Right. Yeah, it's been 3 years now, and I mean, she'll tell me where it feels good and everything, but it just, she's the type of person that can go without sex for, 2 months, she don't have to have it, and I, on the other hand, are like, every night, I want it, and she just...
Levi, I got to break in. We have to go to break.
No problem.
You heard what Stacy said, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
All right. Stacy, we'll be back with Stacy in just a minute.
What's up?
Loveline will be right back.
These are the sounds of today's kids. And these are the voices of today's kids.
Don't underestimate me. I can work harder in school.
Give me a problem that's hard to solve.
Give me tougher work. Give me tougher books. When I solve a tough problem, I'm on top of the world.
Surprised? Don't be. 74% of kids say school should only pass them to the next grade when they've learned what's expected of them.
I'm not afraid to fail.
If I make a mistake, I'll do better next time.
75% of kids say they'd study harder if their schools gave them tougher tests. The fact is, almost all kids want to be challenged in school. So listen to the voices of kids today.
Challenge me.
Challenge me. Challenge me.
Do your part. Support higher academic achievement in your state and challenge our schools to challenge our kids. For a free booklet, call 1-800-38-BE-SMART. A message from the Ad Council and the Education Excellence Partnership.
Taking all that work home?
No, this is my own stuff. I've got a date with a financial planner.
You're only 25. Why are you planning for retirement already?
Hey, I want to be able to choose when I retire and know that I'll be financially secure when I do.
I've heard lots of people call themselves financial planners, but aren't they really trying to get you to invest in their favorite fund? Like they're selling size 20 shoes so everyone gets a hello Bigfoot.
Half this stuff is my bank statements, company insurance policies, tax returns. The planner's going to know a lot about me before recommending anything. The rest is background information I've collected on her and 2 other planners. If she passes tonight's round, she gets my papers.
Securing your financial future is important. You have a right to expect financial advice that's competent, ethical, and based on your needs. To verify that a planner is certified, call toll-free 888-CFP-MARK. A public service of the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards.
Hey, driving fans! It may have happened to you. You may have heard the roar of the rumble strips, the blast of car and truck horns, and the heart-pounding fear of a near miss. Avoid all the dangerous crash action that comes with falling asleep at the wheel. Experience the amazing power nap. You've never seen power like this before. The Power Nap. Find out what the professional drivers have been doing for years. The Power Nap gives you the energy you need for the road ahead, and it's free. Whether you're driving to the shore with your family, to another city to meet a client, to school across the state, or anywhere there's action. The Power Nap is your ticket to revitalization. Experience the Power Nap at a rest stop near you. Just pull in, find a safe, well-lighted spot to park, turn off the key, and close your eyes. In just 20 to 30 minutes, you'll have the energy you need to drive safely for miles. So don't push it, park it, and feel the power of the Power Nap. A wake-up call to all drivers from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the American Trucking Association.
It's nearly 6 a.m., and we're at a rest stop talking to travelers. Excuse me?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of circadian rhythms?
It's like a Latin band, right?
Not quite. Do you know what circadian rhythms are?
It's when the stars all align and their energy creates...
No. How about you, sir? Huh? Circadian rhythms. Exactly. Circadian rhythms tell your body when it should be sleeping as well as when it should be awake.
Huh?
Circadian rhythms are part of our body's internal controls, a kind of built-in clock that tells us when to wake up and when to go to sleep each day. Imagine the danger that comes when we try to drive when our body thinks we should be sleeping, especially at night, early morning, and for many people, mid-afternoon. You really should try to avoid driving during your body's downtimes. If you have to drive when you'd normally be sleeping and you find yourself getting drowsy, stop for a refreshing 20 to 30-minute nap. Now what would you say when I say circadian rhythms?
I'd say, don't push it, park it.
Right.
A wake-up call from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the American Trucking Associations.
Oh, come on, have a drink.
No thanks.
Just one little drink.
I don't want to.
Chicken, everyone else is.
I said no.
What a nerd. One little drink won't kill you.
You've heard it all before. Be cool, join the crowd, have a drink even though you're not 21.
Let's go, she's no fun.
Make the right choice. Don't give in. Underage drinking is dumb and dangerous.
Look out!
A public service message from the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
There are lightweights. There are middleweights. There are heavyweights. Then there are these guys. 13 feet, 500 pounds of pure power. Don't miss the incredible battle between Lennox Lewis and Michael Grant for the undisputed heavyweight title. Tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on HBO. Lewis versus Grant, only on HBO, the heart and soul of boxing.
Hey, it's Loveline. It's Dr. Drew. Adam missed the entire show. He missed the lovely evening with Stacey Valentine. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you coming in. The movie is The Girl Next Door. And again, that website for checking the wide release
is www.gndmovie.com.
gndmovie.com. And tomorrow night, we've got Zach Ward from Titus, the new TV show. It's getting a lot of buzz about that show. So until tomorrow night, when I expect Adam Carolla will have finished his vomiting and diarrhea, if indeed this was food poisoning, enjoy. A joy, a pleasure. And until tomorrow night, this is Dr. Drew on behalf of Adam Carolla saying mahalo.
I did some gay porn in the late 70s.
Well, now.
This has been Loveline. The stuff expressed on Loveline is not necessarily the stuff of the staff, management, sponsors, or anyone else, including Westwood One Entertainment. Loveline is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingold. Now, please enjoy these birds.